Take it herself all the way down the lane. Couldn't get it to go, and rebound tipped around, controlled.
Christopher sets three on the way. This will be big. It's short. Christopher, though, tracks her own rebound down, and now she fires a leaner.
Fine. Jumper up. No good. Rebound. Kyra Knight. Kiss off the glass. Good. Run it down. Rachel Brown in the corner. Thought about a shot. Now goes baseline. Bump. Shot up. No good. Fight for the rebound. Somehow Rachel ends up with it again. Smithson's three. Up and good. Becca Smithson with her third three of the night. And it's 27-10.
As a coach, I'm always looking for ways to improve my team, make my players better, or just gain an edge on the competition. I've had tall teams, I've had short teams. I've had experienced teams and youthful teams. I've had teams that were athletic and teams that were slow. One thing remains the same though. I'm always looking for ways to maximize the potential of that team that I have in any particular year. Rebounding. The ability to get the basketball is what can set your team apart and allow you to maximize that potential. One of the great things about rebounding is any player can do it. Any player can get better. It doesn't take size, it doesn't take quickness to be a good rebounder. In the next few minutes, we're going to show you some tips and drills that have allowed us to be one of the best teams year in and year out in the nation at rebounding. This past season, only 14 NCAA men's Division I, II, or III basketball teams shot 50% or better from the floor. In the women's game, there was only one team at any level of NCAA that shot 50% or better. That team, the Baylor Bears, with 6'7" Player of the Year, Brittany Griner. Why do I highlight these stats or mention them? Quite simply, it's to point out that more shots are going to be missed than made. So doesn't it make sense to be a good rebounding team? That's why rebounding is critical to the success of your team. Pat Summitt used to say that rebounding wins championships. Now obviously there are many aspects necessary to achieving basketball success. However, rebounding can be a great neutralizer. It can give a team an edge. As a coach, you know that there will be a bunch of missed shots on both ends of the floor. What is done with these opportunities oftentimes determine the outcome of games and even seasons. Rebounding is a skill that anyone can master. You don't have to be overly athletic. Bill Laimbeer, the former Detroit Piston bad boy, demonstrated that when he led the NBA in rebounding, even though most people regarded him as a player that couldn't jump. You also don't have to be extremely tall to be a great rebounder. Charles Barkley, who was known as the round mound of rebound, at 6'5" is still the shortest player to win an NBA rebounding title. In order to score, every team needs the ball, and having players that can get the ball for their team is an invaluable skill. Now, Dennis Rodman, despite his off-court craziness and on-court basketball limitations, Dennis Rodman had a very successful championship career because he got his team the basketball time and time again. I want to provide you with some of our drills and philosophies that have helped make my teams extremely good when it comes to rebounding. Many of you watching this can relate to being undersized. My teams have not always been the most athletic, and we certainly have not always had the tallest teams. But what we've done is we've made it a point to emphasize rebounding and to have a mentality of toughness and aggressiveness. Our teams are consistently among the nation's top 10 in rebounding margin, rebounds per game, and offensive rebounds per game. We are one of the few teams, men or women, at any college level to be ranked in the top 10 the last 3 years in all three of these categories. Rebounding statistics can be a critical part of gauging how well you are doing. I believe that rebounding margin is the best indicator of rebounding success. Your total rebounds per game can be up or down based upon the style of play. Offensive rebounds per game can be influenced greatly, not only by your style of play, but your field goal success or failure. We certainly talk about our overall offensive rebounds per game, but we tend to emphasize our offensive rebounding percentage instead. Whether you're shooting well or not, the percentage of second chance opportunities should remain constant. We keep track of rebounds per game just like any other program. However, sometimes that stat can be a little misleading. Instead, we prefer to keep track of rebounds per minute played. A good rebounder is going to grab a rebound every 4 minutes of playing time. The best rebounder I've ever coached grabbed a rebound every 1 minute and 45 seconds. A good offensive rebounder is going to grab an offensive rebound every 10 minutes of playing time. We feel that this truly measures a player's rebounding effectiveness. Here are some reasons for our rebounding success. First, we have an aggressive mentality. Secondly, we emphasize rebounding day in and day out. Third, every shooting drill that we do is also a rebounding drill. Fourth, we have some innovative rebounding drills that we repeat daily. Fifth, our style of play is very aggressive. Sixth, we try to recruit players that have a heart for rebounding. And finally, we try to teach correct technique for rebounding success. When it comes to offensive rebounding, different coaches have different philosophies. Tom Izzo at Michigan State sends 4 to the boards. Other successful coaches only send 2, maybe 1, sometimes 3 to the boards. It depends on what their philosophy is toward defensive transitioning and how much priority they want to put on defensive transition as opposed to offensive rebounding. In our program, we send 4 to the offensive glass. Oftentimes we send 5, but typically we send 4. You will need to decide how many you want to send based on your philosophy. Now, this philosophy could change from game to game depending on your opponent, or it could change from year to year based on your personnel. Our teams have been known to be relentless on the offensive boards. I believe that our success or our failures have been directly tied to what we've done on the offensive glass. This past season, for instance, in our victories, we rebounded 52% of our misses. However, when we lost, we only rebounded 31% of our misses. I believe that if your team is not being active and aggressive on the offensive boards, then it is likely they're not being active and aggressive in other areas during the game. Much of our success the last few years has been due to an increased number of second chance scoring opportunities. On average, we have rebounded about 44% of our misses. To put this into some context, when Anthony Davis led the Kentucky Wildcats to the NCAA championship a few years ago, they rebounded around 42% of their misses. Tom Izzo's teams at Michigan State are normally rebounding about 40 to 41% of their misses. The better that you rebound your misses, the more confidence your shooters will have, the more trust you gain as a team. Okay, on the Superman drill, we want to throw it high off the backboard. Once again, we're catching it with 2 hands above the head, we're chinning it, and we want to go strong to the basket. We also want to score twice on this. Score twice, getting in the habit of having live legs. We want to have live legs when we're doing any kind of drill like this. Throwing it off the backboard, 2 hands. Okay, another variation of the Superman is we have noodles, the little swim noodles. Those are going to be disrupting him on the catch, making him focus on catching the ball. So go ahead, Khadijan. Then they got to score twice still, live legs. If you catch it way outside the paint, you may have to use that dribble, but we still want to be strong with it. And we're scoring twice every time, scoring twice. Keep the ball high, keep it strong, and have live legs. He's going up with it, scoring twice. And so we add a pad, we add noodles to make the drill a little bit tougher, to make it a little more disrupting so that they have to focus on what they do. Okay, we have the shooter right here on the wing, a little bit up between the wing and top of the key. We have our offensive rebounders back here. What we're trying to get at is we're trying to get hustle. We want them busting their tail to get to the basket and get the offensive rebound and try to score if they can. So what they're going to do is they're not leaving half court until the ball leaves Erica's hand or the shooter's hand. She's going to shoot a 3-pointer, and they're going to take off. And then wherever they get it, they're going to go finish. They're going to go ahead and go finish. And then the next person goes, they take the ball back. Finish, 2 hands above the head, and finish. Shot goes up, everyone should be yelling rebound, remember. Everyone should be yelling rebound. We always want to yell rebound when a shot goes up. Rebound! And then we want to make sure we work on not traveling. We don't want to travel. Let's go ahead and score twice. Let's go ahead and score twice with it. Rebound! Get it? Score twice. Score twice real quick. Live legs, live legs. There you go. Shot goes up, rebound. Make or miss, we want to avoid it touching the ground. Now in practice, we'll have a punishment if it hits the ground. And we don't use any excuses that it was a make or that the shot went way off to the side. Now, a shooter, it's not a bad idea that if you have a shooter sitting out, somebody that's sitting out with an injury that maybe can't go full, they might be able to be your shooter. Another thing you can do is you can put a bubble or the rebound dome or a bubble on the basket to make sure that it's a miss and to kind of limit the real long rebounds. In our practice, we do not use any excuses. I don't care what the reason is, they're expected to catch the ball before it hits the ground, and then there'll be a punishment if it hits the ground. As you can see, most of these players are able to get to the basket very quickly. We also use knee pads in our practices and games with our players, which allows them to even go after the ball even more. It is tougher if it's a made basket, but once again, we do not use that as an excuse. We use no excuses during our practice. 2 hands above the head, finish twice. Throw it off the board, go get it, score it, keep the ball high, keep the ball high. Good, kicking it out. We're catching it with 2 hands off the backboard, keeping it strong and high, keeping it strong and high. We want to score twice each time. Keep going. We want to score twice each time to get them in the habit of always going after their shot, never assuming that it's a made shot. Sometimes you'll get fouled and nothing's called and you got to keep going with it. So we want them to get them in the habit of having live legs, live legs. Too often times someone catches the ball, they shoot it, they don't make it, and then they don't get their own rebound. So we want to keep it with live legs, keep them going after the ball. Good, and that's offensive, go get it. Offensive, go get it. Okay, on partner shooting, we have the 2 partners. Now, this isn't normal partner shooting. We don't want them to just stand around, catch the rebound once it hits the ground a couple times. We want them to go hard. We want that rebounder to constantly be moving his feet, active feet. He can't stare at the rim. He needs to be looking at the ball and back at the rim constantly. Now, already, Khadijan has let the ball bounce 2 times. In our practice, we would have a manager charting, and they would already have 2 sprints, 2 suicides, 2 wall sits, 2 groups of push-ups, something like that. Every time the ball bounces, there's a punishment in our practice. Their goal, they can't let the ball bounce, make or miss. We want them to get in the habit of always moving around, always being active on the offensive boards. See, Brandon's doing a great job of when the shot goes, he's actually saying rebound also. That's what we do. The shot goes up, rebound. Every time the shot goes up, rebound, rebound. So the ball hit again. There's no excuse in our practice, even if there's a made shot. A made shot is not an excuse. That just means you have to work harder at it. They're working together. Now, even though it's a lot harder when it's a made basket, in our practices we wear knee pads. Not every team's going to do that, but we found that wearing knee pads helps our aggression during games, not only in practice but in games. It also helps us get on the floor for loose balls more. Now, this drill also, we constantly reinforce in them, every shot is a pass to them. Every shot. Every time Khadijan is shooting the ball, that's a pass to Brandon. He has to anticipate every shot's going to be a miss, because in this drill, every shot is a miss, because if it hits the ground, they're going to have to run or have some kind of a punishment. So already, as you can tell, in this drill, they're probably working a little bit harder than they would normally work with partner shooting. You can get a lot more shots up, but you're definitely getting killing 2 birds with 1 stone by having rebounding practice as well. Offensive rebounding form, we're going to do swim move first. You're going to do swim move, catch the ball, score it twice. We always want to score twice. Live legs. Go ahead. We're swimming. We're going to swim around. We're going to swim around. Constantly keep your feet moving. We're catching the fake offensive rebound and we're scoring twice. We want to constantly keep our feet moving, and when we catch the offensive rebound, we want to go ahead, live legs, go up with it twice. Like all of our drills, we want to score twice. Bull rush, you want to keep your shoulder below their shoulder. So you're trying to get underneath the shoulder, hit the pad, go underneath, and bull rush to the basket. So it's just a speed cut, bull rush. Just a powerful speed cut. Trying to get past that person trying to block you out. Try to get past the person blocking you out. Get lower than they are. Get lower than their shoulder. Get low. And if you got a short player trying to block you out, it's going to be a lot tougher, but you want to get low. Most of the time, the lower player is going to be a lot more explosive and quicker. Once again, keeping the ball up high, chin in the ball, and exploding up. Scoring twice. Score twice. Okay, next up we're going to do spin. So you're going to spin off of the pad, the block out. You're going to spin real tight, go get the ball. Spin tight, Make contact and spin. Make contact and spin tight. Always keeping your feet moving, always keeping your feet moving. Make sure you stay tight and get to the basket. The last one we're going to do is where you, after the spin, the next one we're going to do is you're going to have to move. You're going to have to maybe do a jab step and go the other way. You're getting her, you're getting that block out person going in a direction and then taking them another direction. But you want to keep your feet moving. Always keeping your feet moving, being quick. Never stop moving your feet. We do not want to get blocked out. You never want to get blocked out. Every shot that goes up, someone's going to be a winner, either the person blocking you out or you. One of you is going to win that battle. You may not necessarily get the rebound, but one of you is going to win the battle of who had the most effort, who had the most energy. Is she going to keep you, or that defender blocking out, are they going to keep you from getting to the basket? Okay, on paint rebounding, once again, we're trying to get our man or whoever's closest to us away from the basket. We're trying to move them. We're not just trying to turn and block out and stand there where they can push us. Everything has to be aggressive where we're moving people out of the way. This is paint rebounding. So, we got the ball right here. Rebound! Notice they yell rebound instead of shot because that's what we're trying to do. We want to rebound. We don't want to just have a shot. We don't need to tell everybody a shot went on. We want to tell them we want to rebound. So, continuous. Continuous is one way to do it. So they're back to where they were at. You can continuously go. Now, if you have multiple players, you line them up behind each pad. You line them up behind each pad. We'll go through it one time, and then switch and give them the pad. All right, so we got the shot, rebound. They go, and then they hand the pad off. If we have a whole team that you want to do this for, not just continuous where you keep going around and around, if you have a whole team with 2 or 3 people behind, what you'll do then is if I'm the next person in line, Brandon, after the block out, is going to turn around and hand me the pad. And whoever ended up blocking out at this station, blocking Brandon out, ends up at this station, what will go to the end of the line. Brandon will then turn around and be the next person to rebound. So we're going to go ahead and show this to you. So go ahead, the shot goes up, rebound, they block out, they go get the ball. Brandon is going to hand me the pad. He takes over as the next rebounder. Khadijan ended up here, so he goes to the end of the line. So you might have 2, 3, 4 people behind each line, and now I step up, and we would continue to do it. All right, on pinball rebounding, we're signifying defensive rebound, blocking your man out when they're in the paint. Blocking them out, but continuous, so lots of energy. Go ahead, pinball rebounding. They say rebounding to start, that signifies the shot. They move them out of the lane, rebound, and they go get the ball with 2 hands. Okay, next up, rebound. And we don't use a ball for this drill so that we can continue to go with a lot of reps. We try to do imaginary stuff so we get a lot more reps in, and we don't have to worry about a ball going off.
Rebound.
Good, it goes up with 2 hands. He hits, moves him out of the lane, goes, gets the ball.
Rebound.
Now, it's very important that the people holding the pads also bend their knees so that they don't get knocked out of the way too easy or get hurt. Brandon's going to come back in, so he's ready for the next time to go.
Rebound.
They're moving them out of the paint. You want to move them out of the paint every time your man's in the paint. You want to move them out of the paint, block them out. Oftentimes what happens, and why we do this drill, oftentimes what happens, a shot goes up, and what happens is you turn and you just stand here. I blocked my man out. I blocked out. We don't want to just block out. We want to bury them. We want to get them out of the paint. We don't want to just turn and be right here, because what happens is I might actually get pushed under. And now the only shot that you can rebound is a made shot. Okay, sometimes when we're playing basketball, you're in help side defense, something like that, where the ball's over here, Brandon's in help side, his man is way out there. When the shot goes up, we need to make sure that we check out the person we're responsible for. So the way that we teach this for checkout, shot's going to go up, we yell rebound, as we do on every time the shot goes up. We don't yell shot, we yell rebound, because that's what we want to do. We want to rebound. So we yell rebound. You're going to check out the person you're responsible for. So the shot goes up, I would yell rebound, and I'm going to take 1 to 2 steps out here to check her out. I'm checking this defender, this offensive player out to make sure that they're not coming in. If they don't come in, if they're just out there, I check this player out. Now I come in here like this and grab the rebound. That's our checkout. So let's go ahead and run the checkout drill. Rebound. Good. Do it again. Do it again. You're in the paint, playing defense. Shot goes up, and we check out. We're checking out that player we're responsible for. Keep doing it. Shot goes up. We're in defense. We're checking out to make sure whether they're coming in or not. We do it without a ball to make sure that they are, we keep it going. So we keep it going. Now, here's what happens. Here's what happens in a game a lot of times. A long rebound. A long rebound. What happens is sometimes the shot goes up and I just automatically turn and I go in here and the ball goes over my head. By taking 2 steps out to check out or going out this way and checking out my player first, that gives me time. So now when I turn, now the ball's hit the rim, any long rebound comes right to me. So it eliminates or minimizes some of your long rebounds. Now, moving on with this, we go right into hit and get. So now this player is going to come in because the player's not always going to stand out there and just watch and be a spectator. So now we're moving into hit and get. We want to hit and get. We don't want to necessarily come out here, if this player comes in, we don't want to come out here and block this player out all the way into the sidelines. What we want to do is hit and get. We want to stop them from coming in, but then we want to go get the ball. So let's go ahead and go through it. Hit and get. They're gonna hit with their forearm, give a forearm shiver without extending it. They're not extending their elbow or their hand. They're just hitting it and bouncing off. Hit and get, hit and get. This is the same principle as checking out. It's just when you check out your player, now all of a sudden that player is coming in to go get a rebound and you're trying to stop them. You're hitting and getting, hitting and getting. On this next jump ball drill, this is different than the opening tip. The opening tip, you're trying to tip it to somebody on your team. This jump ball drill is more about a loose ball. The ball's coming off, a long rebound, it's up in the air, it's a 50-50 ball. Which one of you wants it the most? So it's gonna be similar to a jump ball, but it's not where you're tipping it to someone, you're trying to get the ball. So as a coach, I'm gonna start in the middle. It's man against man, one-on-one. Who gets this ball the most? And you go until one of you gets the ball. Okay, and you would get the ball. Now, depending on how you want to do it, jump balls, whatever like that, you can fight for it, or you can go to a whistle. But Khadijan got the ball. So normally what we do in practice is Brandon would have 5 push-ups, 10 push-ups, a wall sit, something like that as a punishment. So we would have 2 new people coming in, doing the same thing. So Brandon would be over there doing push-ups or whatever that punishment would be. We're gonna jump ball it. Good. And we end up getting that. Jamal would then end up having a punishment. We'd have 2 more people coming in. You can keep track. You can have a tournament. You can keep track of who gets the most balls. Now, one thing you'll start seeing is the smarter players will begin jumping into this player. They won't just jump straight up, because remember, this is not an opening tip. This is, I got to get the ball. One of you is going to win the battle. Who wants it more? And what ends up happening is the one that wants it more doesn't go straight up. They go up as high as they can, but into this person to try to get the ball. They try to move him out and take his space. With tug of war, it's one-on-one. Khadijan versus Brandon. What's going to happen is I'm going to hold the ball. They're going to have one hand on the ball. And as soon as I release the ball, they're going to try to get the ball any way that they can. Okay, Brandon would win. So now Khadijan now has a punishment, 10 push-ups, a suicide, wall sits. We have 2 new people coming in. One hand on the ball, and when I release, they're going to go ahead and try to get the ball. So we have this. We got 2 new people coming in. And if you have a team, you can keep going where you don't have the same partners going against each other. Now you can add 2 hands on the ball. They both get 2 hands on the ball. As soon as I release my hand, they're going to try to play tug of war, try to take it away. And you're going to see in this drill who wants the ball the most. We have 2 new people coming in. You'll see who wants the ball the most. Now, as you do this a few times, you're going to start to get players that really want the ball. And they're going to do whatever it takes. And what's going to happen is when I release my hand, okay, instead of pulling the ball away, they're going to pull the ball while getting their shoulder in. They're going to almost roll into and use momentum and do whatever they can to get the ball. They're going to roll onto them. Because the more you try to pull away, just like in a game, if I just try to pull away, I'm not using my whole body. They're going to try to use their whole body, and that's what eventually you'll be able to see with some of your better, more aggressive players, is that they use their whole body. The other thing you're going to see is some people just stand straight up to try to do that and just try to take it away with their arm. The more you can get in the stance, the more that you can use your whole body and be explosive, the better off you'll be. In our 2-pad rebounding drill, we kind of combine defensive and offensive rebounding. The first thing is going to be starting off defensive rebounding. When the shot goes up, everybody on your team is going to yell rebound. You have everybody waiting here on the baseline with their own basketball. You have the person that's going. Brandon's going to go. He's already given his basketball to your shooter, who could be somebody that's hurt, sitting out, or it could be a manager. Either way. On the shot, everyone's going to yell rebound. Brandon is going to block this person out where his feet get past the free throw line. So he's blocking out. This second pad is going to be right here, so that as soon as he blocks out, he's now going to have to get around this pad, go in and get the offensive rebound, score twice as we do on all of our offensive rebounding drills. Rebound. And he's going to get to the basket and score twice. We always want to score twice. Next person's up. Shot, rebound. Remember, we're always yelling rebound on every shot. Every shot we're yelling rebound. So even on these offensive rebounds, you should be yelling shot. So he shoots, so we should be yelling rebound to tell him what we want to do. We're always telling ourselves and our teammates what we want to do, which is rebound. So he's attacking the basket, rebound, going to score again, live legs. We want to keep our feet moving at all times and attack the rim. Always keep your feet moving. Make it tough on them. Always keep your feet moving. Don't just fight through. hold up. Don't just fight through this person. Always be moving around. We don't want to allow this person to block us out. So we don't want to just bull through them and fight through them. We want to fight around them. Keep those feet moving. Continue to go after it. Rebound. Rebound. This is our 2-pad drill. We've done it with offensive rebounding. We're also now going to do it where it's now they grab the rebound here as a defensive rebound, and they're going to take it all the way down. They're going to make a move at half court. I prefer crossover through the legs. They're going to do whatever move that we want them to do at half court, and then they're going to attack the rim down there where we have another pad. As soon as they're done down there, make or miss, they bring it back down. Now in our practices, we'll normally have a punishment if they miss the layup. They'll normally have push-ups or wall sits or a run. But they're going to score down there. They're going to bring the ball back down here and go through it again. So 2-pad rebounding. Brandon's first up. Shot goes up. We're going to yell rebound. Rebound. He's going to keep his feet moving. He's going to rip the ball through, attack half court. He's going to attack to the rim, and he needs to score it. Good. Next person's up. Shot goes up. Rebound. He's going to keep his feet moving, rip through, attack the chair at half court. And he's going to score down there. Next person will be up. Rebound. Everyone should be yelling rebound on the team. All the team members, even if you're sitting out, should be yelling rebound. Rebound. He pursues the ball, active feet. It doesn't matter if it goes out of bounds. You continue to go. He's going to rip it through. Now this also serves as a ball handling drill as well. Keep your feet moving, rip through, attack the chair at half court. You're going to cross it over and then attack the rim for your score. Now, even though that this is a rebounding drill, we also want to work on our ball handling. And this is a great opportunity for some of your forwards, some of your wings, maybe even a post player that wants to, is always saying, Coach, what do I do if I get the rebound and don't have an outlet? Can I just go with it? You may not want them to go with it, but this may be the opportunity in practice that they can work on that stuff and try to get better. We have a post player that for 2 years I wouldn't allow her to dribble. After 2 years of doing this, her third year, she was allowed to dribble if she didn't have an outlet pass because she had worked at this for 2 years. So depending on what you want to do on your team, this is a great way to work on ball handling. Now, you do have to watch your players to make sure that they don't get lackadaisical with the ball, dribble it up high. Even though this is a rebounding drill, you still want to get good work out of it from all the other angles. All right, so when we're shooting a free throw and we're wanting to get the offensive rebound, we have Jesse shooting the ball, we have Jamal, and we have Clinton that are going to be the offensive rebounders. What we want to do is they're going to start low in their blocks, so start low in your blocks. Now, right before Jesse goes to take the shot, Jamal is going to step up here. And what they're going to do is on the shot, Clinton, you're going to take 1 to 2 steps across. Clinton's going to go right for that block, and you're trying to go right for this block. Now, what's going to happen? Go back. Defensive players, block out like your coaches would teach you to block out. So right before Jesse's going to shoot it, you're going to move up. Now on the shot, you're going to go across. And what's going to happen is on a miss, we're going to get positioning with either Jamal or Clinton possibly. Now let me show you a couple things that will happen on this. One is the defensive rebounder is probably not going to want to release because they're taught to stay with their block out. So on this, move up in this. The shot goes up, don't shoot it, but just shoot it up in the air for a minute. Okay, as you guys go across, what happens is right there, it becomes an accidental screen. It becomes an accidental pick for this. And so that will allow Jamal to go ahead and get that. Now, if they pass it on, let's say, do it again. Khadijon, you're going to pass on the block out. Let's say you pass it off because he keeps going across. Go ahead and go across. Now what will happen is Clinton is now in position. Clinton now has good rebounding position. A lot of times right-hander, a right-hand shooter, or any shooter for that matter, is going to miss by pushing the ball because they get their elbow out just slightly. That's why we have Jamal being the one that's stepping up, taking 2 steps so that they don't run into each other. Go ahead and go through it again, guys. and coming down. So if Jesse happens to miss the basket by pushing it, it's going to end up right in Clinton's hands, or Jamal's hands, sorry. Okay, guys in white shirts step off. When you're shooting free throws, just in practice, instead of your guys just standing there looking for rebounds, you can do the same thing. So Jesse's going to go ahead and shoot a couple, make or miss. You're trying to get the ball before it hits the ground. And then go ahead and put it back up. Give it back to Jesse. So you're getting free throws. It's not taking a whole lot of time out of your day, but you're still getting that extra practice, and you're trying to get the ball, make or miss. Here we're able to beat the block out, quickly crossing the lane to gain an extra possession for our team. Even playing against a big physical team, by moving your feet when you cross, you can still make good things happen. Here we're down 1 point with just over a second to play. Ideally, we'd like to make the shot and force overtime. Fortunately, our mentality of always assuming a miss allows us to get this rebound, get fouled, and win the game. Okay, when we're doing defensive rebounding, what we want to do is we want to pinch or form a wedge. We're trying to pinch on their two offensive rebounders. We're trying to keep these two rebounders from getting anything on the offensive glass. Now, we are not blocking out the shooter. The reason we're not blocking out the shooter is because there's very few times during a game or during the course of the year that they're going to get the offensive rebound. But there's often times these two people are going to get the offensive rebound. So we're playing the percentages. Now, we're going to go ahead and pinch. So on the shot, you're just going to fake the shot. Both players on both sides are stepping in at an angle, forming a wedge. Now, if the offensive rebounders try to spin or go baseline, they stick together, trying to move their feet. Okay, go back. What we are not doing is Khadijan is not blocking out the offensive player so that Clinton can go get the ball. Everything we do, these are the two best rebounders we have right here. These are the two best rebounders we have over here. Everybody's our team's best rebounder. So let's go again. Spree is going to shoot the ball, fake shoot it. You're stepping in. On any movement, you're staying together. You're staying together. Now, if it happens to be something where it's the end of the game, a special situation, what we want to make sure that we do is, yes, we do now want to block out the shooter. We do want to block out the shooter now. With that being the case, we're going to pick out who is the best rebounder on their team. We're going to say right here, she's the best rebounder, so we want to pinch on her. We want to form that wedge on this player. So what we would do now is you're going to go ahead and take the shooter. You're going to go ahead and have a one-on-one responsibility right there. We're going to try to put our best rebounder on the one-on-one side. Our best player, our best rebounder should not need extra help. So right now, Brandon is our best rebounder. All right, so as the shot goes up, the fake shot, he's still stepping, going to keep moving his feet. Everybody has to continue to move their feet. So there shouldn't be any situation where someone's open. We have it all accounted for. That would be what you would do at the end of the game, special situation where you don't want to roll the dice and accidentally the ball goes long to the shooter. But throughout the course of the game, with pinching on both sides, you should cut down on the number of offensive rebounds a team has. Theoretically, they should get no offensive rebounds from right here, as opposed to normally they'll get 1 or 2 or 3 during the course of a game. And that's what we do on defensive rebounding. As a coach, you'll often get what you emphasize the most. Emphasizing aggressive rebounding and toughness will give your team a distinct advantage over the competition. We want to thank you for watching these tips and drills. We hope the philosophies discussed will do for you what they've done for us and take your team to the next level and maximize your players' potential.